Okay, you're able to share everything, the file with English and okay. Om. 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 शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर्गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः ॐ श्री गुरवे श्री सत्यसाईनाथ श्रीपादुकां पूजयामि नमः ॐ श्री परमगुरवे श्री शिरडी साईनाथ श्रीपादुकां पूजयामि नमः ॐ श्री परमेष्टि गुरवे श्री दत्तात्रेय स्वामी श्रीपादुकां पूजयामि नमः सद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः हरिः ॐ विद्युद्दामसमप्रभां मृगपतिस्कन्धस्थितां भीषणां कन्याभिः करवालखेटविलसद्धस्ताभिरासेवितां हस्तैश्चक्रगदाशिखेटविशिखांश्चापं गुणन्तर्जनीं बिभ्राणामनलात्मिकां शशिधरां दुर्गां त्रिनेत्रां भजे ॐ नमश्चण्डिकायै ॐ देव्युवाच येभिस्तवैश्च मान्नित्यं स्तोष्यते यः समाहितः तस्याहं सकलां बाधां शमयिष्याम्यसंशयम् मधुकैटभनाशं च महिषासुरघातनं कीर्तयिष्यन्ति ये तद्वद्वधं शुम्भनिशुम्भयोः अष्टम्यां च चतुर्दश्यां नवम्यां चैकचेतसः श्रोष्यन्ति चैव ये भक्त्या मम माहात्म्यमुत्तमम् न तेषां दुष्कृतं किञ्चित् दुष्कृतोत्थानचापदः भविष्यति न दारिद्र्यं न चैवेष्टवियोनिज्जनम् शत्रुभ्यो न भयं तस्य दस्युतो वानराजतः न शस्त्रानलतो यौघात् कदाचित् सम्भविष्यति तस्मान्ममैतन्माहात्म्यं पठितव्यं समाहितैः श्रोतव्यं च सदा भक्त्या परं स्वस्त्ययनं महत् उपसर्गानशेषांस्तु महामारी समुद्भवान् तथा त्रिविधमुत्पातं माहात्म्यं शमयेन्मम यत्रैतत्पठ्यते सम्यग् नित्यमायतने मम सदा न तद्विमोक्ष्यामि सान्निध्यं तत्र मे स्थितं बलिप्रदाने पूजायामग्निकार्ये महोत्सवे सर्वं ममैतन्माहात्म्यमुच्चार्यं श्राव्यमेव च जानता जानता वापि बलिपूजां यथा कृतां प्रतीक्षिष्याम्यहं प्रीत्या वह्नि होमं तथा कृतम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hari Om, Shalom, Sai Ram, Namaste. We are at the penultimate chapter in the study of Devi Mahatmyam, and in this 12th chapter, the mother herself is describing clearly the efficacy of not just chanting, not just reading, but most importantly, listening. We completed until the 12th yesterday, and until another 18 shlokas almost 31 shlokas. A majority of this chapter is the mother's description of the efficacy. 30 out of 41 shlokas. What is this Phalashruti about, and why there is so much emphasis on this word Shrutva, listening? You can see that repeated over and over. Shravya, Shrutva. In Shloka 10, she's talking about Shravya. And in Shloka number 9, she's talking about Patha. And again in Shloka, 7, she describes about Shrota, Pathitavyam, and also the word Samahitai. You have to understand these words first of all to understand what benefit it gives. It's like, taking a medication. You need to follow not only the dietary regimen, but also how many times you have to take the medicine. Is it before food or after food? What else you have to notice? All this is described. This is the same for mantra, because mantra is like supreme medication. Mantra is not simply something that you chant. Mantra is a medication. And how that medication works, what we are talking about, the medication working for all the allopathic medications that we take, there is a physical benefit, but there are also tremendous amount of physical side effects and mental side effects. You watch these commercials for these pharmaceuticals. The benefit is only for 10 seconds. The rest of the time, if you do this, if you do that, this is the side effect, this will have, that will have. How many side effects are mentioned? But this mantra has no side effects. In fact, it's not only completely cures the system, not for this body itself, but what is associated with this body in the context of everything else that has accumulated and running what this body and this mind in this life. So that is the amazing thing that the mother is going through. And then how many different ways it is done, how many, what are the different auspicious times it is done. So all of that represents bheshaji, medication. Shiva Rudrasya Bheshaji. Shiva, the mother, is the Bheshaji, the medication for Rudra. That is what we say in the 10th Anuvakam of Sri Rudram. Yate Rudra Shiva Tanu Shiva Vishwaga Bheshaji. Shiva Rudrasya Bheshaji. Tayano Mruda Jivase. What beautiful mantras. Vishwasya Bheshaji, Rudrasya Bheshaji. What is it to be a medication for Rudra? Again, if you read the Purana, that means that she was the one that cured him after he consumed the halahal. So that is Bheshaji for him. How is that useful for us? How is she useful for us in that mantra? Rudrasya Bheshaji means Rudra being the source principle of everything within and without, This particular Shiva, referred to as the mother, as in Shiva, is the medication for including the source. If there are any, what does it mean medication for the source? But that not that the source requires medication. Anything that is preventing the expression in fullness of this Rudra within us, she cures that. शरत्काले महापूजा क्रियते या च वार्षिकी तस्यां ममैतन्माहात्म्यं श्रुत्वा भक्ति समन्वितः. शरत्काले महापूजा, there is sharatkala mahapuja. There is puja, there is mahapuja. This sharatkala mahapuja is nothing but Sharan Navaratri that comes in the month of the Sharadrutu in Ashvaja Masam. And that Sharatkale Mahapuja Kriyate Yacha Varshiki, during that Sharad season, Sharadrutu, which I believe is called autumn, and when the great annual worship is performed, Tasyam Mamaitan Mahatmyam Shrutva Bhakti Samanvitaha. And when one happens to hear the glorification of mine, this incredible enchanting glory of mine, with utmost devotion, Shrutva listens to it, not even reading. This enough if you actually listen to this in Sharat Kalam. Then what happens? Sarva badha vinirmukto dhana dhanya samanvitaha manushyo mat prasadena bhavishyati na samshayaha. It is without any doubt this is going to happen with my grace to the mankind. Mat prasadena bhavishyati na samshayaha. With my grace, it is going to happen undoubtedly to the mankind, Manushyo. What happens? Sarva badha vinirmukto. They'll be liberated from all the badhas, the troubles. Not only liberated from those troubles, but they will be blessed with dhana, dhanya. Dhana is wealth, dhanya is food for sustenance. You have to very, very carefully listen to all of this. If you only limit the meaning to what we get in the context of, yes, indeed it is going to happen, but when you actually focus on what these words are conveying from her, and you have to always ask the question, why? Why does this happen? Why do I believe this will happen? What is the evidence that this will happen? I'm not going to tell you what that is because we have gone through this the entire Devi Matyam. 1 year of sadhana. So, but you have to internalize and ask this question. What is badha? What are the troubles? What are the troubles that we go through? And how do we get liberated from that just by listening to this with the devotion? Sharatkale Mahapuja क्रियते या च वार्षिकी तस्यां ममैतन्माहात्म्यं श्रुत्वा भक्तिसमन्वितः.
शरत्काले महापूजा क्रियते या च वार्षिकी.
No, you're chanting in E, ma. I'm chanting in F.
शरत्काले महापूजा क्रियते या च वार्षिकी तस्यां ममैतन्माहात्म्यं श्रुत्वा भक्ति समन्वितः
Okay, there
शरत्
is a problem with the audio also. It's not clear. Maybe for me, but others, do you hear it clearly? No.
Yeah, it is clear for us, or at least for me.
it's
Or
clear enough.
Paula? It's clear? Okay, go ahead. Yeah. One more time.
Maybe I should put Shruti a little bit far. शरत्काले महापूजा क्रियते या च वार्षिकी तस्यां ममैतन्माहात्म्यं श्रुत्वा भक्तिसमन्वितः
सर्वाबाधा विनिर्मुक्तो धनधान्यसमन्वितः मनुष्यो मत्प्रसादेन भविष्यति न संशयः.
विनिर्मुक्तो धनधान्यसमन्वितः मनुष्यो मत्प्रसादेन भविष्यति न संशयः निर्मुक्तो धनधान्यसमन्वितः मनुष्यो मत्प्रसादेन भविष्यति न संशयः
श्रुत्वा ममैतन्माहात्म्यं तथा च उत्पत्तयः शुभाः पराक्रमञ्च युद्धेषु जायते निर्भयः पुमान्. Again, Shrutva, the one who is listening to this glory of mine, and not only the glory of mine, the auspicious manifestations of mine, tatha cha utpattayah shubhah. She is utpatti cha tadaloke. Where is that shlokam from? Utpatti cha tadaloke. Sairam. Chanters. Hello. Nobody is connected. Utpattaya shubhah. Utpatti cha tadaloke. You all know connected to that shloka? Where does that come? In chapter 1. Who is talking about? When Sumedha is talking to these two guys, the king and the Vaishya. Then when she was asking Braviti Katham Utpanna, then he is saying Utpatti cha tadaloke. That is where you Utpanneti tadaloke. Utpanneti tadaloke sa nityapyabhidhiyate. Why did she come? Devanam karya siddhyartham avirbhavati sa yada utpanneti tadaloke sa nityapyabhidhiyate. What we are saying, when we are looking at tathapi, tat samutpattir bahudha shruyatam mama. And then immediately saying, she didn't come utpanneti tadaloke. If you think that she is coming and going just in a worldly context, that she is coming from a worldly context. No. She is not coming and going. Sa nitya. She is eternal, always present. Abhidhiyate. Here and now, if you recognize it. But the mother is saying here, Tathacha Utpattaya Shubha. If you listen to this glory of the mother and the auspicious manifestations of hers, she is saying, and my parakramancha yuddheshu, and when you focus on my valor and courage In those battles, jayate nirbhayah puman. A person becomes fearless. Arey, what is this, sir? All the violent stuff. How does that make it more fearless? Shouldn't it be turning more fearful? This uh, dreadly fighting of the mother. I'm not going to answer. You have to ask yourself. You have heard enough by this time. श्रुत्वा ममैतन्माहात्म्यं तथा चोत्पत्तयः शुभाः पराक्रमञ्च युद्धेषु जायते निर्भयः पुमान्.
श्रुत्वा ममैतन्माहात्म्यं तथा चोत्पत्तयः शुभाः पराक्रमं च युद्धेषु जायते निर्भयः पुमान्. एतन्माहात्म्यं तथा चोत्पत्तयः शुभाः पराक्रमं च युद्धेषु जायते निर्भयः पुमान्.
रिपवः संक्षयं यान्ति कल्याणं च उपपद्यते नन्दते च कुलं पुंसां माहात्म्यं मम शृण्वताम्. See how many places? Shrunu, Shruyate, Shrutva. Everywhere it is. Listening, listening, listening. Huh? Ripavas sankshayayanti. Kalyanancha upapadyate. All the enemies will perish, and auspiciousness or welfare will befall, and the entire family rejoices. The entire family of those who is listening to this glorification of mine will be also be bestowed with happiness. Are, this is the most important hook. This is most important hook. Are, my husband doesn't come to Sai Center, he doesn't, or my wife doesn't care about whatever this. Now, if I do this, then Swami will take care of all of this. Important hook, especially for those whose husbands or spouses are not spiritually inclined. Arey, why you are going to this Sai Center, wasting so much time, getting up 6 o'clock in the morning? Who is this crazy guy driving you all nuts? What's all this nonsense? That's definitely people are asking those questions. Why are you doing this? What do you get out of this? No, I am doing it because you will be happy. Wife here when I am here, not wife here when I am here. So this Nandate cha kulam pumsam mahatmyam mama shrunvatam. रिपवः कल्याणञ्चोपपद्यते नन्दते च कुलं पुंसां माहात्म्यं मम शृण्वताम्.
रिपवः संशयं यान्ति कल्याणं चोपपद्यते नन्दलं पुंसां माहात्म्यं मम शृण्वताम्.
I don't know they say they can hear you well, but I have a problem. It's the sound is not clear and your Shruti is also slightly lower than what I am chanting. Okay, here is
It's
what I am
dropping
chanting.
for me too.
Yeah. So there is you know the settings what you have to put, maybe that is the problem. This is another
Oh,
problem I
yeah,
deal
yeah,
with
yeah.
every month.
Sorry, 1 second.
These all these
Well,
groups get on Ekadash Rudram chanting. Papam that is what parent mana Satish Damraju email me the email. He will send a text, everything. But nobody comes on time at 8:30. Only one fellow will be present at 8:25. And then how is the sound? Very good. Only one person chanting, of course, very good. And then rest of them come very leisurely. Sankalpam ayyaka, మెల్లిగా వచ్చి కూర్చుంటారు హ్యాపీగా. After Sankalpam is over. And then they all start chanting. Nobody pays attention to settings. I feel so bad because there are so many people watching online and it is a service. And for me, when it comes to Swami's work more than anything else, it unfortunately I'm obsessed with this perfection business, and therefore we have to stop and we have to take over and chant. My mind, is saying, my God, they're putting so much effort coming chanting, but what to do? What to do? So over and over again, this audio problem. I don't not so settings అంటే ఏంటో తెలుసా ఏం చేయాలో ఇప్పుడు ఆడియో సెట్టింగ్స్
Yeah,
లో.
I turned on uh, musicians thing on, uncle. I just did that now.
ఓకే, అండ్ యూ ఆల్సో హ్యావ్ టు డూ సమ్ ఎరా ఈకో క్యాన్సిలేషన్ చేయాలి దామరాజు. సరేమా సతీష్, కెన్ యూ హియర్ మీ?
Echo cancellation should be off, Anna.
Echo cancellation should be off. High fidelity music mode
And stereo audio on.
and stereo audio on. అర్థమైందా?
Yeah.
చూపించిన సెట్టింగ్స్.
I just did that, uncle. I'm good.
ఓకే, గుడ్. ఓకే, కెన్ యూ చాంట్ వన్ మోర్ టైమ్ ప్లీజ్? రిపవసంచ.
रिपवः सङ्ख्ययै यान्ति कल्याणं रिपवः सङ्ख्ययै यान्ति कल्याणं चोपपद्यते नन्दते च कुलं पुंसां माहात्म्यं मम शृण्वताम्. Is it better?
Yeah. Did you chant 2 times?
Yeah.
शांति कर्मणि सर्वत्र तथा दुस्वप्न दर्शने ग्रह पीडासु च उग्रासु माहात्म्यम शृणुयान ममा. When shanti karmas are happening, means what is shanti karma? Like a yajna, which is a shanti karma. Like there is anything that you do for getting individual peace or universal peace, sarvatra, everywhere. Tatha duswapna darshane. If you happen to have visualized a bad dream, experience a bad dream, not only that, where there is a graha pidasu, when there are planetary inflictions that are not in correct positions, and that graha pidasu cha ugrasu, and that will influence the being of mental physical being of a person. Mahatmyam shrunuyan mama, you should listen to my glory. Again, listen, listen, listen. Shrunvatam, Shrunuyan, everywhere. Are you listening right now? Or are you hearing right now? If you are listening, you will be present in your. This is the point of asking you all to come out of your black boxes. Are you listening? Are you hearing? All the pravachanas, we hear. Are you listening? What's the difference? We'll get into that after the class. Why we are asking you to show your presence, physical body, physical presence at a guru when you go for listening to something? Will supposing, just supposing, Bhagwan is on this Zoom call and he's talking to all of us. Would we be showing our faces, or are we going to sit in a black box? Please tell me.
Show our faces.
Total presence you will have. So that means if you are not able to turn on the video, means that you are at a place where you are unable to participate fully. But yet you just want to hear. Array, I will something, I will be missing in life morning. వినకపోతే ఏదో అయిపోతుంది. Huh? I have to listen to it, otherwise something will happen to me. So therefore, now you see now people are opening up their black boxes. Suddenly, so it has to be told a zillion times, but yet it won't sink in because you are not connected spiritually to what this means. You are only connected so physically to this. What she is talking about, Shrunuyan Mama, Shrunvatam, Shrutva, Shrutam. She didn't even say many places you have to chant it, you have to do home. Many places, look at, count the number of times Shrunu comes. So, what is this listening? What is this listening to the glory of hers? What happens when you listen to something? शान्तिकर्मणि सर्वत्र तथा दुःस्वप्नना दर्शने ग्रहपीडासुचोग्रासु माहात्म्यं शृणुयान्मम शान्तिकर्मणि सर्वत्र तथा दुःस्वप्नदर्शने ग्रहपीडासु चोग्रासु माहात्म्यं शृणुयान्मम.
शान्तिकर्मणि सर्वत्र तथा दुःस्वप्नदर्शने ग्रहपीडासु चोग्रासु माहात्म्यं शृणुयान्मम शान्तिकर्मणि सर्वत्र तथा दुःस्वप्नदर्शने ग्रहपीडासु चोग्रासु माहात्म्यं शृणुयान्मम.
And what is this Grahapida? Planets and their influence. Very important topic of lot of people to mentally hijack people around this. What is this Grahapida? I am not saying that it is totally voodoo or anything like that. Please don't misunderstand. But what is this planetary problems that we talk about? And how that is Abba Navagraha Homa means everybody will come because Navagrahas are so important and my God this problem that problem, see how much fear driven spirituality exists, and that's what's called religion. The moment you say grahas, oh my God, everybody is awake. I have to do something with this grahas. Balagrahābhibhūtānām, okay, yes, upasargāshyamayyanti grahapīdāscha dārunāh dusvapnancha nribhirdrishtam susvapnam upajāyate. Now the next one also, Balagrahābhibhūtānām balanam shantikarakam sanghāta bhede chandrunam maitrīkaranamuttamam upasargāshyamayyanti. Then it says, if you do so, by that means also, all the evil aspects will subside. What are these evil things? Grahapīdāscha dāruna, all the things that has Grahapīdāscha dāruna, atrocious effects of the planets. But you have to understand this. There are only 9 planets or whatever. They may be expanding now. But that 9 planets are what is mentioned, Navagrahas. Those 9 planets from a solar system point of are constant all the time. How can one guy have different effects of the same planetary system that is constant and other people have different effects? Huh? How is this possible? Why is this such an important thing? Why do we need to care about this? How do we bring them under control? At least what she is doing here is all those things associated with the evil stuff associated with dusvapnancha nrubhir drushtam, whatever you have seen as a bad dream, will disappear and susvapnam upajayate. What is dusvapnam? What is susvapnam? What is a bad dream? What is a good dream? And why do we go through these dreams? Sairam, you are all evolved, so this point that I only ask questions. Huh? You have to now understand that after 52 weeks, we have to get to this point of what does this really mean? उपसर्गाशमय्यान्ति ग्रहपीडाश्च दारुणाः दुःस्वप्नम् च नृभिर्दृष्टम् सुस्वप्नमुपजायते.
शमय्यान्ति ग्रहपीडाश्च दारुणाः दुःस्वप्नम् च नृभिर्दृष्टम् सुस्वप्नमुपजायते उपसर्गाश्रय उपसर्गाश्रमय्यान्ति ग्रहपीडाश्च दारुणाः दुःस्वप्नम् च नृभिर्दृष्टम् सुस्वप्नमुपजायते.
Now there is this term called balagraha abhibhutanam balanam shantikarakam. Bala means children, or that is what in the context of what this sloka is intended to convey. And when the children are taken over by what we call as in the olden days, this chicken pox and all those things, polio, all these are referred to as certain the viral diseases were referred to as a certain mahamari or somebody has inflicted upon them. So they were quarantined, they were put in a room, they were given certain diet, not allowed to come out of that room, go through this quarantine process, everything. And during that time, they used to worship the mother and pray to her. बालग्रहाभिभूतानां बालानां शान्तिकारकं सङ्घातभेदे च नृणाम्. Sanghata bhedam. Sanghata bhedam means division. Division occurs amongst people. They fight with themselves divided. Even the most spiritually evolved, so called, they will fight for power and egos. And when all that fighting occurs, if you truly listen to this glorification of the mother, she is saying, Nrunam, that means people that are men, mankind, this will bring union of such divided people, very much needed. बालग्रहाभिभूतानां बालानां शान्तिकारकं सङ्घातभेदे च नृणां मैत्रीकरणमुत्तमम्.
बालग्रहाभिभूतानां बालानां शान्तिकारकम् सङ्घातभेदे च सङ्घातभेदे च नृणां मैत्रीकरणमुत्तमम् बालग्रहाभिभूतानां बालानां शान्तिकारकम् सङ्घातभेदे च नृणां मैत्रीकरणमुत्तमम्.
दुर्वृत्तान् दुर्वृत्तानाम् अशेष दुर्वृत्तानामशेषाणां बल हानिकरं परम् रक्षो भूतपिशाचानां पठनात् एव नाशनम्. Similarly, she continues, she is saying it diminishes most effectively the power of all those evil people. Verily, what we are calling as the demons, Rakshasas, Bhuta, all the different kinds of spirits, Pishachas. What are Bhutas? What are Pishachas? Who are Rakshasas? There are different levels of even evil categories. Huh? So there are different levels of categories. What are these Pishachas? What are the Bhutas? What are the Rakshasas? So all of those will be destroyed instantaneously just by chanting this Mahatmyam of the Mother. Pathanat evanashanam. Now you see this is Pathitavyam came in around Shloka 7 8. Now after so many shlokas, Shrutva, all that's listening, here it is saying Pathanat. Patha. What is patha? What is listening? Patha means we interpret as chanting. Patha is chanting. What is the difference between reading and chanting? What is the difference between hearing and listening? These are the things we need to focus on and understand. And then she concludes in this, not concludes, she puts a close to all the efficacies. Sarvam mamaitan mahatmyam mama sannidhikarakam. This entire glorification of mine, the glory of mine, makes one come very close to me. This is the most important efficacy. दुर्वृत्तानामशेषाणाम् बलहानिकरम् परम् रक्षोभूतपिशाचानाम् पठनादेव नाशनम्.
शेषाणाम् बलहानिकरम् परम् रक्षोभूतपिशाचानाम् पठनादेव नाशनम् दुर्वृत्तानामशेषाणाम् बलहानिकरम् परम् क्षोभूतपिशाचानाम् पठनादेव नाशनम्
सर्वं ममैतन्माहात्म्यं मम सन्निधिकारकम्.
सर्वं ममैतन् माहात्म्यं मम सन्निधिकारकम् सर्वं ममैतन्माहात्म्यं मम सन्निधिकारकम्
Then she is talking about all the other things that we do. Pashu, Pushpa, Arghya, Dhupa, Gandha, Deepah, Tatha, Uttamaihi, Vipranam, Bhojanah, Homah, Prokshaniyair, Aharnisham, अन्यैश्च विविधैर् भोगैः प्रदानैर् वत्सरेणया प्रिय प्रीतिर्मे क्रियते सास्मिन् सकृदुच्चरिते श्रुते. If you do year along worships using giving dana, finest cattle, offering flowers, offering incenses, offering gandha, perfumes, do showing the deepa, the lamps, feeding all the Brahmins, offering all kinds of homas, oblations, and sprinkling the consecrated water and all other types of various offerings, and that you give. If you do those kind of offerings, what are mentioned before, day and night for the entire year, Just if you listen or if you do this Devi Mahatmyam once, all of those will be gotten. Hello, we are not saying this. Mother herself is saying this. That is the power of Devi Mahatmyam. That is the power of Rudram. Now, yes, what are the, so do you understand? Day and night for 1 year long, if you do dana of finest cattle, offer flowers, arghya, oblations, dhupa, incense, sugandha dravyas, perfumes, offering lamps, feeding Brahmins, doing homa and doing prokshana of the consecrated water, all the other different types of worships, charity that is obtained by me, means you are doing all this for other, and that definitely pleases her. She is saying all of those will please me. However, if you listen to this glory of mine, one time I will be pleased as much as you are doing year along all the other things. पशुपुष्पार्घ्यधूपैश्च गन्धदीपैस्तथोत्तमैः विप्राणाम् भोजनैर्होमैः प्रोक्षणीयैरहर्निशम्.
शुपुष्पार्घ्यधूपैश्च तथोत्तमैः
मళ్ళీ మళ్ళీ మళ్ళీ మళ్ళీ
पशुपुष्प
మళ్ళీ మళ్ళీ సార్.
पशुपुष्पार्घ्यधूपैश्च गन्धदीपैस्तथोत्तमैः विप्राणाम्भोजनैर्होमैः प्रोक्षणीयैरहर्निशम् पशुपुष्पार्घ्यधूपैश्च गन्धदीपैस्तथोत्तमैः विप्राणानैर्होमैः प्रोक्षणीयैरहर्निशम्
अन्यैश्च विविधैर्भोगैः प्रदानैर्वत्सरेण या प्रीतिर्मे क्रियते सास्मिन् सकृदुच्चरिते श्रुते.
च विविधैर्भोगैः प्रदानैर्वत्सरेण या प्रीतिर्मे क्रियते सास्मिन् सकृदुच्चरिते श्रुते अन्यैश्च विविधैर्भोगैः प्रदानैर्वत्सरेण या प्रीतिर्मे क्रियते सास्मिन् सकृदुच्चरिते श्रुते.
And listening to this, Shrutam Harati Papani Tatha Arogyam Prayachati. ततः आरोग्यं प्रयच्छति रक्षां करोति भूतेभ्यो जन्मनां कीर्तनं मम. Listening to this glorification of mine, glory story of mine, what will it do? It will remove the sins and it will grant perfect health. Tatah arogyam prayachati. Rakshang karoti bhutebhyo. I will protect against any kinds of bhutaha. Bhuta also protect against natural calamities. This, what is happening with this is three levels of inflictions happen at bhuh, bhuvaha, suvaha. At the gross level, subtle level, and causal level. Rakshang karoti, I will protect. And janmanam kirtanam mama. When you actually do the kirtana, what is kirtana? What is patana? What is shrutva? See how many different ways? What is Kirtanam now? Janmanang Kirtanam Mama. When you actually extol the glory of mine. श्रुतं हरति पापानि तथारोग्यं प्रयच्छति रक्षां करोति भूतेभ्यो जन्मनां कीर्तनं मम
श्रुतं हरति पापानि तथारोग्यं प्रयच्छति रक्षां करोति भूतेभ्यो जन्मनां कीर्तनं मम तं हरति पापानि तथारोग्यं प्रयच्छति रक्षां करोति भूतेभ्यो जन्मनां कीर्तनं मम
युद्धेषु चरितं यन्मे दुष्टदैत्यनिबर्हणं तस्मिन् श्रुते वैरिकृतं भयं पुंसान्न जायते. She is repeating the same concept that she said in the one of the previous shlokas about her excuse me shrutva mamaitan mahatmyam. In that the same in shloka number 14 where she is talking about parakramancha yuddheshu jayate nirbhayah puman. Similar context, similar principle is applied here, but here the inner meaning of this is subtly different compared to what she is talking about before. Yuddheshu charitam yanme, and when my prowess, whatever I have done to dushta daitya nibarhanam, what that I have slaughtered, that prowess of mine which has slaughtered the wicked daityas is listening to tasmin tasmin shrute vairikritam bhayam pumsanna jayate. All the enemies of the mankind will be destroyed and they will not have any fear from those enemies. And then she says, Yushmabihi stutayo yascha brahmarshibih krita brahmana cha krutastastu prayachantu shubham matim. युद्धेषु चरितं यन्मे दुष्टदैत्यनिबर्हणं तस्मिन् श्रुते वैरिकृतं भयं पुंसान्न जायते. युद्धेषु चरितं यन्मे दुष्टदैत्यनिबर्हणं तस्मिन् श्रुते वैरिकृतं भयं पुंसान्न जायते.
युद्धेषु चरितं यन्मे दुष्टदैत्यनिबर्हणं तस्मिन् श्रुते वैरिकृतं भयं पुंसान्न जायते युद्धेषु चरितं यन्मे दुष्टदैत्यनिबर्हणं तस्मिन् श्रुते वैरिकृतं भयं पुंसान्न जायते.
And these hymns that are chanted by you, Yushmabhihi Stutayo Yascha, all the hymns that are chanted by you and by the divine sages, and also Brahma, definitely will give you a pious, purified mind and a supreme intellect. A purified mind is 100% shining as the intellect. What are the ones that they have done? Hello, what are the ones that they have? What are the ones that they have done? What are the stutis
Parajita
there?
Stotram.
Huh?
అపరాజిత స్తోత్రం.
Oh, have to come from the beginning. వెనక్కి మళ్ళీ పేజీలు తిప్పకు. Just it has to be very clear. Who is the first one that extolled mother?
Brahma.
బ్రహ్మ.
That's what she is saying here. याश्च ब्रह्मर्षिभिः कृता ब्रह्मणा च कृतास्तास्तु प्रयच्छन्तु शुभां मतिम्. ब्रह्मणा च कृताः. Who is that means not Brahmin, Brahma himself extolled her. What is that? Where is that? Huh?
ఫస్ట్ చాప్టర్.
First chapter.
Chapter 1, Madhukaitapa.
Chapter 1 Madhukaitava, no, that's called Tantra. That is Tantra Yukta Ratri Suktam. That is what Brahma's extolation is, not chapter 1. Chapter 1, everybody knows. In chapter 1, those shlokas are called, Brahmastuti is called Ratri Suktam. And what is the next one? What chapter?
Chakra and Stuti, fourth chapter.
Fourth chapter. What's the next one?
51, Narayana.
Fifth one,
అపరాజిత
Narayana.
స్తోత్రం.
Aparajita Stotram. What's the next one?
11 to Narayana.
11 Narayani. All those things, if you chant, you will get a purified intellect and a mind. So, those of you who have been learning Devi Mahatyam, make it a habit to chant at least one of those at least once in a week. And then it will help. I'm telling you, those are supreme mantras that purify your intellect and helps to see very clearly. And so, if you have that, what will happen? Aranye prantare vapi davagni parivaritaha dasyubhirva vrutashunye gruhito vapi shatrubhihi simha vyaghra anuyato va vane va vanahastibhihi rajnya kriddhena chagyapto vadhyo bandhagatopi va आघूर्णितो वा वातेन स्थितः पोते महार्णवे पतत्सु चापि शस्त्रेषु सङ्ग्रामे भृशदारुणे सर्वबाधासु घोरासु वेदनाभ्यर्दितोऽपि वा स्मरन् ममैतञ्चरितन्नरो मुच्यते सङ्कटात्. How she is saying all these things beautiful. So let's go to this Yushmabhihi. युष्माभिस्तुतयो याश्च ब्रह्मर्षिभिः कृता ब्रह्मणा च कृतास्तास्तु प्रयच्छन्तु शुभां मतिम्.
युष्माभस्तुतयो याश्च ब्रह्मर्षिभिः कृताः ब्रह्मणा च कृतास्तास्तु प्रयच्छन्तु शुभां मतिम्. युष्माभस्तुतयो याश्च ब्रह्मर्षिभिः कृताः ब्रह्मणा च कृतास्तास्तु प्रयच्छन्तु शुभां मतिम्.
अरण्ये प्रान्तरे वापि दावाग्निपरिवारितः दस्युभिर्वावृतः शून्ये गृहीतो वापि शत्रुभिः.
ये प्रान्तरे वापि दावाग्निपरिवारितः दस्युभिर्वावृतः शून्ये गृहीतो वापि शत्रुभिः. अरण्ये प्रान्तरे वापि दावाग्निपरिवारितः दस्युभिर्वावृताः शून्ये गृहीतो वापि शत्रुभिः.
And she continues to say, all these shlokas, a little bit repetition from the principles of what we heard. She's emphasizing this so that it is not lost. You hear once, you don't remember, and then if you repeat it twice, hopefully you will remember. And the one who is lost and lonely in a dense forest, or when surrounded by this wildfires in the forest, or surrounded by robbers in a lonely place, or who is captured by enemies, or who is pursued by a lion or a tiger, or by wild elephants in a dense forest, or who, under the orders of a king, is sentenced to death or has been imprisoned, or who is tossed around in his boat in a vast turbulent sea, or the most who is in the most terrible battle under a shower of weapons, or who is in the midst of all kinds of dreadful troubles, or who is inflicted by pain, such a man, on remembering this story of mine, is saved from all these problems. మనకేమున్నాయి ఇవన్నీ ఏం లేవు. We don't have all these problems. We have never been to a forest. We have never gone into a turbulent sea in a boat. We have never been facing a lion or a tiger. None of this apply to us. What is she talking about? Doesn't she know that this is an eternal prayer and the time will come when man will not have any opportunity to do any of this stuff? So, what's the point of it? This should not be related to that, right? Is that correct? Yeah? Is that correct?
Yes.
Who said yes, Swatiya?
Yes.
Uh, so, this is not a problem for us. We can ignore all these shlokas. Let's go to Mama Prabhavats. Mama, through my power, Mama Prabhavat Simhadya, through my power, lions, etc., robbers, enemies, flee from a distance of the one who remembers this story of mine. That is the conclusion of the Phalashruti of the mother. So, as Swati said, none of this applies to us. We can skip to shloka number 30.
No, I didn't mean that. I thought like when you said that in the future these are not going to be applicable, I meant like not in the literal sense because it's more subtle.
Okay. All of you should do homework on what that means. You don't need to submit it to me. Submit it to the Devi within yourself. And write down what every one of this that she's talking about. What does this really mean to me? अरण्ये प्रान्तरे वापि दावाग्निपरिवारितः दस्युभिर्वावृतः शून्ये गृहीतो वापि शत्रुभिः सिंहव्याघ्रानुयातो वा वने वा वनहस्तिभिः राज्ञा क्रुद्धेन चाज्ञप्तो वध्यो बन्धगतोऽपि वा आघूर्णितो वा वातेन स्थितः पोते महार्णवे पतत्सु चापि शस्त्रेषु सङ्ग्रामे भृशदारुणे सर्वाबाधासु घोरासु वेदनाभ्यर्थितोऽपि वा स्मरन्ममैतच्चरितन्नरो मुच्येत सङ्कटात् मम प्रभावात् सिंहाद्या दस्य वो वैरिणस्तथा दूरादेव पलायन्ते स्मरतश्चरितं मम. So these shlokas, as I already mentioned, all the prelude to this is actually युष्माभिस्तुतयो याश्च ब्रह्मर्षिभिः कृताः ब्रह्मणा च कृतास्तास्तु प्रयच्छन्तु शुभां मतिम् मतिमतीव शुभां ददाति. Where is that? Where is that line from?
Samputita Sri Sukta.
Samputa Sri Sukta Babu. Evara Samputa Sri Sukta?
Gayatri.
Gayatri. What Samputita Sri Sukta? It's not from Samputita Sri Sukta.
Durga Saptasati. It is in Indian.
Yeah, what is the shlok? What is the shlokam? What's the mantra?
Durge Smriti.
Ah, Durge Smrta Harasi Bhiti Mashesha Janto. In which chapter it comes?
Fourth chapter.
What shloka? Oh, now they're all looking very. Everybody now. See, I can see Swati, turning the pages. Where is this coming? Where is this coming?
Four,
Number
chapter
17.
417.
Yes, 17 shloka. So, Durge Smrta Harasi Bhiti Masesha Janto. She's talking about all the stuff associated with Durge Smrta Harasi Bhiti Masesha Janto. Swasthe Smrta Mati Mativa Shubhan Dadasi. Daridrya Dukha Bhayaharini Katvadanya. Sarvopakara Karanaya Sadardra Chitta. What does that mean? Expansion. We chanted that. And she herself is explaining what are all the things that we are inflicted by. And the moment you, not only just that one shloka, Yushma bhistutayo yascha brahmarchi bhikritaha brahmana cha kritastastu prayachantu shubham matim. Auspicious illumined mind. What are the aranye, prantarevapi, all these things that she is talking about. And when she concluded that, the Rishi is saying, Ityuktva sa bhagavati chandika chanda vikrama pashyatam sarvadevanam tatraivantaradhiyata. Having spoken thus, ityuktva sa, she, bhagavati, bhagavati, Bhagavati is light and wisdom, like Bhagavan. Bhagavan is masculine, Bhagavati is feminine, both the same meaning. Chandika, Chanda, Vikrama, that beautiful mother Chandika. Pashyatam sarvadevanam tatraivantaradhiyata. As they were watching, all the devas were watching, she disappeared from the spot. तेऽपि देवा निरातङ्काः स्वाधिकारान्यथा पुरा यज्ञभागभुजः सर्वे चक्रुर्विनिहतारयः. ऋषिरुवाच इत्युक्त्वा सा भगवती चण्डिका चण्डविक्रमा पश्यतां सर्वदेवानां तत्रैवान्तरधीयत.
ऋषिरुवाच ऋषिरुवाच इत्युक्त्वा सा भगवती चण्डिका चण्डविक्रमा पश्यतां सर्वदेवानां तत्रैवान्तरधीयत. इत्युक्त्वा सा भगवती चण्डिका चण्डविक्रमा पश्यतां सर्वदेवानां तत्रैवान्तरधीयत.
तेऽपि देवा निरातङ्काः स्वाधिकारान्यथा पुरा. All the devas did not have any people that troubled them or the aggressors or the bullies, and they resumed their own adhikara, the duties as before. Adhikara is transferred Adhikara is translated as power. Adhikara is not power. Adhikara means the work that you do, the duty that you do with an intellect that is completely illumined. That is adhikara, not ruling over others with power. See how degraded our awareness about these words have become. That's what I'm trying to point. Our interpretation of the words comes in our own awareness. And when we interpret the words with our lower awareness, then they mean something different. Oh, he's showing his adhikaram, means power. This is what it is. So, all these gods resumed their duties and therefore all freed of their enemies. Chakrur vinihata arayaha. Ara means enemies. Survey all of them. Then they started enjoying the offerings of the yajna bhagas offered in the yajna. तेऽपि देवा निरातङ्का स्वाधिकारान् यथा पुरा यज्ञभागभुजः सर्वे चक्रुर्विनिहतारयः.
तेऽपि देवा निरातङ्काः स्वाधिकारान्यथा पुरा यज्ञभागभुजः सर्वे चक्रुर्विनिहतारयः तेऽपि देवा निरातङ्काः स्वाधिकारान्यथा पुरा यज्ञभागभुजः सर्वे चक्रुर्विनिहतारयः
दैत्याश्च देव्या निहते शुम्भे देवरिपौ युधि जगद्विध्वंसके तस्मिन् महोग्रः अतुल विक्रमे. When the Devi slain the Daityas such as Shumbha, who are the enemies of the Devas, and that were destroying the world with unparalleled powers, and also Nishumbha of great valor, the remaining Daityas went to Patala. After Shumbha and Nishumbha were slain, that were causing destruction of the of the universe of the world, and also causing problems to the devas when they were slain, the rest of them went into Patala. That what does that mean? Ayyo. दैत्याश्च देव्या निहते शुम्भे देवरिपौ युधि जगद्विध्वंसके तस्मिन् महोग्रेतुलविक्रमे निशुम्भे च महावीर्ये शेषाः पातालमाययुः.
दैत्याश्च देव्या निहते शुम्भे देवरिपौ युधि जगद्विध्वंसके तस्मिन् महोग्रेतुलविक्रमे दैत्याश्च
No, no,
देव्या
no.
निहते
ఫుల్గా చదవమ్మా, నేను ఎట్లా చదవాలి నువ్వు అట్లా చదవాలి. ఓకే. నిశుంభే
निशुम्भे निशुम्भे च महावीर्ये शेषाः पातालमाययुः दैत्याश्च देव्या निहते शुम्भे देवरिपौ युधि जगद्विध्वंसके तस्मिन् महोग्रेतुलविक्रमे शुम्भे च महावीर्ये शेषाः पातालमाययुः.
एवं भगवती देवी सा नित्यापि पुनः पुनः संभूय कुरुते भूप जगतः परिपालनम. Now he is saying, who is saying? The Rishi is saying. Which Rishi is saying?
Sumedha.
Sumedha. Sumedha is saying Evam Bhagavati. So Bhupa. Bhupa means king. O king. This mother, the Devi, Evam Bhagavati Devi, Sa Nitya. She is Nitya. Api, even though she is Nitya, Punah Punah Sambhute Kurute Jagatah Paripalanam. She appears over and over again to protect the world. एवं भगवती देवी सा नित्यापि पुनः पुनः सम्भूय कुरुते भूप जगतः परिपालनम्
देवी सा नित्यापि पुनः पुनः सम्भूय कुरुते भूप जगतः परिपालनम् एवं भगवती देवी सा नित्यापि पुनः पुनः सम्भूय कुरुते भूप जगतः परिपालनम्
तयैतन्मोह्यते विश्वम् सैव विश्वम् प्रसूयते सा याचिता च विज्ञानम् तुष्टा ऋद्धिम् प्रयच्छति. Huh? Where do we hear this kind of Tayait?
Brahmastuti.
Yeah, Brahmastuti. In that Ratri Suktam, you see here the same type of shlokas. Yes. Actually, not Brahmastuti. Tayaitat Tayaitan mohyate Vishwam. That kind of thing comes when the Taya Visrujate Vishwam. Those are the things that the Rishi is talking about. Jnanamasti samastasya. In that shlokas, you will get the same. Tvayaitat palyate vishwam. Tvayaitat srujyate jagat. Where is that shloka coming from? It's not in Brahmastuti.
Chapter
Tvayaitat.
1.
Tvayaitat,
Chapter.
yeah, that is Brahmastuti. Tvayaitat dharyate vishwam, Tvayaitat srujyate jagat, Tvayaitat palyate devi, Tvamatsyante cha sarvada. That kind of, that's Brahmastuti. Umaji is correct. So here the Rishi is saying again, by her the universe is deluded. Tayaitan muhyate vishwam, sa eva vishwam prasuyate. Because of her, the whole world is born. Sa yachita cha vijnanam tushta. When she is pleased, she will give supreme knowledge and she bestows prosperity. Riddhi. Riddhi means prosperity. Vriddhi. Where is Riddhi? Vriddhi, where are they coming? When we are chanting in Rudram?
రుద్రం
Rudram, అదే అడిగింది చెప్పింది రుద్రం అని. In Rudram, where?
Manuvaka.
Prac- huh?
Maka Manuvaka too.
ప్రాక్టీస్కి వస్తే తెలుస్తుంది. వృద్ధి వృద్ధి all those things you will get. So tayaitanmohyate vishwam saiva vishwam prasuyate sayachita cha vijnanam tushta riddhim prayachhate.
ते विश्वं सैव विश्वं प्रसूयते सा याचिता च विज्ञानं तुष्टा ऋद्धिं प्रयच्छति तयैतयते विश्वं सैव विश्वं प्रसूयते सा याचिता च विज्ञानं तुष्टा ऋद्धिं प्रयच्छति.
Okay, I think we have a few more shlokas to go. I think we should finish this chapter today. If you don't mind, another 10 minutes it will take. And then we will close today with this chapter because next week, next Saturday, we won't have the class because we are going to do the Navachandi Homa. Exactly how it will be done at the Yajnam in Memphis next month. And all this Devi Mahatmya Jnana Yajna, conclusion of that happening with this chapter. And before we do the 13th chapter, we are offering the Navachandi Homa to the mother. Beautiful timing by Bhagwan. This week Ekadas Rudrabhishekam. Next week happening with Navachandi. And after the Navachandi is done, we will close the Jnana Yajna on the on next Sunday when we actually look at the 13th chapter, which is a small chapter, and the entire executive summary revisit of the Devi Mahatmyam. Did we chant the Saivakale Mahamari? Oh, sorry. Yes. Vyaptantayai tat sakalam Brahmandam Manujeshwara Mahadevya Mahakali Mahamari Swarupaya. She has expanded the entire universe, and at the end of the Kalpa, she is Pralayakarini. She is the dissolver, and the dissolver is Mahamari. And she will, Mahadevya, Mahakali, she will Vyaptam Tayaitat Sakalam. She will expand into the entire Sakalam, means everything, Brahmandam in this universe. Manujeshwara, O king, this Mahadevi as Mahadevi, Mahakali, and Mahamari. And saying what are those three aspects? Saivakale Mahamari. Sa eva Srushtir Bhavatyaja Sthitin Karoti Bhutanam Saivakale Sanatani. What a Saiva means, Sa eva becomes Saiva, not Shaiva, Sa eva. And she is taking the form of the dissolver at every proper time when the dissolution has to happen. Sa eva srushtihi bhavatyaja. She is unborn. She is not born, but she becomes this creation. And at the time of creation, she is herself the eternal being. Sthitin karoti bhutanam. She is the eternal Sa eva kale sanatani. She is present all the time. So now, if you look at Bhavakale Nrunam Sa eva Lakshmir Vruddhiprada Gruhe Sa eva Bhave Tatha Alakshmir Vinashayopajayate. In times of prosperity, she is Mahalakshmi, and she bestows and enhances prosperity in the homes of those where she is installed. And in the times of misfortune, she herself becomes the goddess of misfortune and brings about destruction. Where did we read this principle? Where did we read this principle that we are talking about?
Shri Suktam.
Huh?
Shri Suktam.
No, no. In Devi Mahatyam, I'm asking. Huh? Nobody remembers? This thing about where is this aspect about the mother becoming Alakshmi? అయ్యయ్యో ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసే వాళ్ళకి కూడా గుర్తులేదా యా శ్రీ స్వయం సుకృతినాం భవనేష్వలక్ష్మీః పాపాత్మనాం కృతధియాం హృదయేషు బుద్ధిః శ్రద్ధా సతాంకులజన ప్రభవస్య లజ్జా तान् त्वान्न तास्म परिपालय देवि विश्वम्. See, they sing Ya Shri Swayam Sukritinam Bhavaneshu Alakshmihi Papatmanam. That is what? Which one is this? Where is this shloka from? Hello, I'm trying to see if you are all connected. Huh?
Parajita.
No, no, fourth
Parajita
chapter. Mahishantakari, Chakradhistuti, fourth chapter. Now you know the next question. What shloka number? 5. Fifth shloka in Mahishantakari. Same principle is भवकाले नृणां स एव लक्ष्मीः वृद्धिप्रदा गृहे स एव भावे तथा अलक्ष्मीर् विनाशायोपजायते. So it all depends upon the orientation of your buddhi. Buddhi turned towards the light, auspiciousness. Buddhi turned away from light, inauspiciousness. Stuta संपूजिता पुष्पैर धन धूपादिभिस्तधा ददाति वित्तं पुत्रांश्च मतिं धर्मे तथा शुभाम. It's beautiful. ते सम्मता जनपदेषु भवानि तेषां तेषां यशांसि स च सीदति धर्मवर्गः धन्यास्त एव निभृतात्मजभृच्चदारा येषां सदाभ्युदयदा भवति प्रसन्ना. See, repeat. See how full circle these things come, the principles that were extolled by the rishis and coming back and closing the loop so that you don't miss the point. A point is made as an executive summary. Same point is elaborated. And then at the end of the day, there will be summary and conclusions. You understand? Same thing, same. This construction of the logic that we do in executive presentations has been done long time ago by rishis. It's the most beautiful way of teaching something. You tell something as a summary, straight to the point. It will be told in every one of the scriptures. Why scriptures? Hymns. Take Rudram. The entire summary of Sri Rudram is the first three dhyana shlokas. That is executive summary. And the same thing is repeated with so many rooks and yajus. And then they close it exactly with conclusions. Stuta Sampujita Pushpair Dhana Dhupadibhistada Dadati Vittam Putramscha Matin Dharme Tatha Shubham. That's the most important thing. When she is praised and worshipped and appeased with all the worship that we have to adoration that is done, she bestows the wealth and progeny. But most importantly, with a mind that is turned towards dharma and dharmic way of living. What does that mean? What does that mean? What that means is this mother is not about, she is bhukti mukti pradayini. She takes care of your daily living bhukti and also gives mukti. And in the context of that, this is the beautiful closure of this chapter called the 12th chapter, which is known as the Phalashrutirnama Dvadashodhyayaka. Stuta Sampujita. So I will chant these shlokas because there is no time to do the repetition. You all will, let's go to sloka number 38. You can all chant along with me because it is being shown on the screen also. व्याप्तन्तयैतत्सकलं ब्रह्माण्डं मनुजेश्वर महादेव्या महाकाली महामारी स्वरूपया सैव काले महामारी सैव सृष्टिर्भवत्यजा स्थितिं करोति भूतानां सैव काले सनातनी भवकाले नृणां सैव लक्ष्मीर्वृद्धिप्रदा गृहे सैवाभावे तथा लक्ष्मीर्विनाशायोपजायते स्तुता सम्पूजिता पुष्पैर् स्तुता सम्पूजिता पुष्पैर्गन्धधूपादिभिस्तथा ददाति वित्तं पुत्रांश्च मतिं धर्मे तथा शुभम् स्वस्ति श्रीमार्कण्डेयपुराणे सावर्णिके मन्वन्तरे देवी माहात्म्ये फलस्तुतिर्नाम द्वादशोऽध्यायः ॐ अपराधसहस्राणि क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया दासोऽयमिति मां मत्वा क्षमस्व परमेश्वरि आवाहनं न जानामि विसर्जनम् पूजाञ्चैव न जानामि क्षम्यतां परमेश्वरि मन्त्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं सुरेश्वरि यत्पूजितं मया देवि परिपूर्णं तदस्तु मे अपराधशतं कृत्वा जगदम्बेति चोच्चरेत् यां गतिं समवाप्नोति न तां ब्रह्मादयः सुराः सापराधोऽस्मि शरणं प्राप्तस्त्वां जगदम्बिके इदानीमनुकम्प्योऽहं यथेच्छसि तथा कुरु अज्ञानाद्विस्मृतेर्भ्रान्त्या यन्यूनमधिकं कृतं तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देवि प्रसीद परमेश्वरि कामेश्वरि जगन्मात सच्चिदानन्दविग्रहे गृहाणार्चामि मां प्रीत्या प्रसीद परमेश्वरि गुह्यातिगुह्यगोप्त्री त्वं गृहाणास्मत्कृतं जपं सिद्धिर्भवतु मे देवि त्वत्प्रसादात् सुरेश्वरि हरिः ॐ तत्सत् श्री जगदम्बार्पणमस्तु स्वस्तिः प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्याय्येन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Om Sri Sai Ram everyone. I know we covered a lot of ground today. That's because you are already exposed to a lot of these concepts and all the aspects related to the Phalashruti that we studied. So it becomes a repetition to go back, and some of you have already done the homework related to all that Aranya, Prantareva, all those things, efficacy related things. And that's the reason why. And as I announced already, we will not have the class on, we will have the Mahanyasam today afternoon. And with Bhagwan's grace, we'll complete the Shodashanga Raudri Karanam. And next Saturday, we will have the Navachandi. It will start at 8 o'clock in the morning. And all the Devi Mahatyam Ritviks that are from Bay Area and Sacramento area, please, I request you to come and receive the divine grace of the Mother with all this Jnana Yajna that is done. And as I was telling yesterday, Bhagavan's really amazing. You know, just the next Saturday is just a Purnima, very auspicious Purnima. And before that, throughout this next week, Shanmukha, Samvedam Shanmukha Sarmagaru is doing Devi Mahatmyam Pravachanam. Of course, it will be in Telugu, in Bay Area. So Swami is like amazing. In the Bay Area, what are the chances that we conclude Devi Mahatmyam as a Jnana Yajna and then followed by Navachandi. And the same week, a great, you know, Maharshi, I call him, like Samvedam Shanmukha Sarmagaru is coming and doing the pravachanam on Devi Mahatmyam in 5 days. That is grace of God, nothing else. And Swami is such an incredible mother and a master that we are so incredibly indebted to him that he allowed us to know his name and to be aware of his form. Nothing else is required for this. That is the ultimate. That is the ultimate. No need to go look for anything else in life. And he is not far away from our own, even closer to us than our own eyelid. Because when you close the eyelid, you see him. When you close the eyelid, you see. You don't have to do anything else. Don't look anywhere else. Just close the eyelid. Apatalana bhastalanta bhuvanat brahmanda ma vispuratu. Open the eyelid, you see him. Brahmanda vyapta dekha bhasate marucha bhasamana bhujangai. This is the essence of Rudram. Rest of it is all elaboration of those two concepts. And so this, with that, if there are any burning questions, we will address them. Otherwise, we can close the session for today. No burning questions, I assume. Let me see.
Saram brother, so that Nauchandi will be there on the Zoom or YouTube
Yeah, we no,
when we are doing.
it will be live streamed because it's not practical for all of us to do it as a monthly Parayanam. So it will be live streamed on the YouTube channel Sayat Rudram. Yes. So, but it is a complete protocol, probably even more elaborate than what we did in Sacramento Yajna. This year is last year and this year is very, very special, and the coming years also. Bhagavan's incredible grace of this Shiva Shakti aspect being presented. What we are talking about, uh, CHARM, CHARM, charm. If you take the Chendi out of it, it is harm. Have the Chendi, it is charm. Don't have Chendi, it is harm. Huh? Hello. If you have Chendi in your life, it is charm. Without Chendi, it is harm. What that doesn't mean is that now Shiva is less important, Vishnu is less. That is the problem with the human mind. Now immediately you start, oh, Chandi is it man? Now you see, I know Chandi now. Rest of the gods don't matter. Not like that. That's not intended like that. But she is the one that is, as we just chanted those beautiful slokas, right? How she is Tvayaitat palyate vishvam, Tvayaitat dharyate jagat, all those things associated with them, because the world, the cosmos is the Mahamaya, is the Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati. That is the world. If you take her out of that, the world disappears, completely disappears. So what, and then the point of all of this Phalashruti is she is basically emphasizing very clearly 2 points: bhukti, mukti. Those two are given. Not there are certain aspects of divinities that when you completely connected to them, you will be completely, totally detached from the world, and nothing will happen in the context of the worldly context. But that's very hard for ordinary people like me who are in the world, hopefully not of the world, but then in the company of those that sustain that spirit. That is the satsangam. You have to count that as a, now you don't have to leave this world, sit in this. That is the difference between yoga sadhana and bhakti sadhana. In yoga is very difficult. You have to actually give up every thought, every instinct that is occurring. That is yoga. But bhakti is not like that. Bhakti is suffused with love, and the love of God that is sustained through the presence of the people around you that love you because they love God. They're not loving you as the individual. They are seeing Swami, and you are seeing Swami in them. They don't show this love for this physical body. They are loving this body because this body loves Swami. That is the essence of it. And that love is, there is a distance created when you call yourself a guru. Huh? You see, you understand? In Navavidha Bhakti, the Navavidha Bhakti, before Atma Samarpanam, what is the penultimate? Atma Samarpanam is the last one in Navavidha Bhakti. But before Atma Samarpanam, what is it before that? Right before that? Huh? Umaji, what is that?
Saka.
Sneham. Yes.
Sakyam.
Sakhyam. Sneham. Friend.
Sakyam. Sakyam.
You understand what Navavidha Bhaktis are? The nine Bhaktis? Nine Bhaktis is representation of the love of God. And it starts with Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Archanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. So out of all these steps, the final step is like looking at God like a friend, like the Arjuna did. Because all this gives Chitta Shuddhi and that ultimate love for your friend. That's ultimate. Friend, not as in worldly defined friend, please. Not like a stupid Facebook friend, which means nothing. It's absolute rubbish. That's not a friend. This friend is actually a ship that saves you from the worldly turbulence. And that ship is friendship. And that presence of that friend through the hard core of life, through happiness and through everything else, through pain and pleasure, celebration, condolences, congratulations, all these things that happen. When you sit in that ship, it takes care of it. And likewise, you also have equal attention to that ship when you are on the waters. You understand the mutually? Because you are sitting in the ship, it doesn't mean that you ignore the ship because it will sink if there is a leak. So you take care of that ship as much as the ship takes care of you in the turbulence. And what we are talking in this Anuvaka of Phalashruti, how many times I've been asking, are you listening? Are you listening? Are you looking? Are you chanting? How many times this is repeated in during the entire course of Rudrajnana Yajna and this Yajna? If you truly listen to that, you would have understood why that is so important. So it starts with Shravanam and it ends in Sneham and Atma Nivedanam. This is the journey of love. And in this journey of love, she is describing everything in between in this Palashruti. This is so profound. She's describing everything in between. So, this love of the mother, she's the ultimate friend. When I say she, he, that is it. It is same as that SAI. And when you connect to that, you don't have to run around trying to seek peace and happiness in something else. You are completely, actually enjoying the journey in the ship through the turbulent waters of samsara, and sometimes the beautiful calm sea with total silence in the deep ocean where there is nothing but cool breeze and there is absolutely no wave felt. And when the storm strikes, the wind blows, the ship rocks, you hold on to that ship. You don't jump ship from one ship to another ship. You stay with the ship that you are on and let the ship take you through this beautiful ocean. And you begin to enjoy the journey through this along with the ship. The pirates come, all kinds of things happen, wild sharks, whales, everything jumping around, trying to rock this ship. You are not afraid of it because you have the ship with you. So let us be in that friendship of Sai Bhagavan. Prana Sakha. Prana Sakha Bhagavan. O Sai mere Prana Sakha Bhagavan. And the love you see expressed from others to you, through you, is nothing but the love to that friend. And that is the friend that is closer to us inside. Please take this to the heart. I'm appealing to all of you. You are in the best boat. You are in the best ship. Unquestionably, we are all in Bhagavan. And this Bhagavan is carrying all of us. And we are on a beautiful cruise, enjoying every moment together, but knowing that the source of our sustenance and presence, all of us together in it, is through our friend who is the ship. Jai Sai Ram. Okay. जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की
Jai